I'm sure everybody remembers our wonderful Congresswoman Maxine Waters from California. I'm sorry, I mispronounced it. It's not California. It's pronounced Communist-fornia. I know it's spelled California, but I've heard word is on the street, guys, that it's actually Communist-fornia now, and that you're being insensitive to the gays if you don't acknowledge the communism. So, if you don't want the pride police to come after you, then you better call it Communist-fornia. I'm sure everybody saw the Babylon Bee skit that came out today about the pride police. If you haven't, go check that out. It's pretty funny. But for those of you who don't remember, or who didn't know, or who don't live in this country or pay attention to this country's politics, let me fill you in on what happened and why everyone loves, wink, wink, Maxine Waters.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
Yeah, so for those of you that aren't in the know, she was speaking about the cabinet members from Donald Trump's presidential cabinet. That just means the people who Donald Trump, appoints to run certain parts of the government. And yeah, she said that about Donald Trump was president at the time that she said that. So, she was saying that about a current active sitting president's cabinet members. And, obviously quite a few people got really upset with her. Obviously nobody that's a Democrat was upset with her. They all agreed with her. But, anyone who is sane or normal or voted for Trump was kind of like, hey, this isn't a good thing. You shouldn't be doing this, guys. Like, we can't live in a country where the two political sides are quite literally at war with each other constantly, all the time. You can't even go to a restaurant. You can't even go to a gas station without people crowding you. Like, we can't live in a country like that. That's not possible. We will get a civil war if we continue on that path. I'm just saying it'll be a pretty quick civil war because, all the guns are on one side, if you know what I'm saying. And not only that, have you seen those Antifa dweebs that stand out there like in their all black masks and all black with their guns and stuff? Just watch one of them take a corner. Just watch one of them take a corner, bro. They are a freaking joke. They would get shot before the fighting even started. Probably shot by their own gun on accident because they have no trigger discipline. But as much as I dislike Maxine Waters, I still like her a little bit, because the great part about Maxine Waters is, as terrible as a person as she is, what makes her so great is she is so low IQ that she just straight up says the quiet part out loud. The thing that all the Democrats, quietly behind closed doors kind of agree with. None of them will come out in public and say it publicly because they'll catch way too much heat. And, there'll be lots of people calling them a terrible person for saying such terrible things. And they don't want to deal with all that stuff. But that's where Maxine Waters comes in like Superman and saves the day, because she takes the things that everyone says behind closed doors and in private, and she just screams it into a microphone for all of the world to see and hear. And you just gotta love it because, as much as the Democrats like to have their little secrets, Maxine Waters just loves to say it out loud for everyone. So let's get into the current hot water that Maxine Waters has gotten herself into. Pun intended.
It's so important for us to fight for education, because when we do that, we can aspire to careers that will help change what goes on in this country and have a real democracy. I want to give you an example of it. Right now, as Trump is on trial, you have Letitia James in New York. Mm-hmm. You have Fannie Willis in Georgia. And you have Tanya Chunkin, who is a judge, who all have a role to play now, prosecutors and judges. And if we're ever to change the criminal justice system and get some justice, we've got to be in there.
Isn't it so wonderful that our Congresswoman, Maxine Waters, is so deeply concerned with the education of our citizens? Isn't that just such a moral good of her to do? Just all that concern with the education of our citizens. Just that's all she cares about. She doesn't care about anything else that's evil, guys. She just wants people to be educated. And not only that, at the same time, she's also advocating for why DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, are so important, okay? Like, you guys, you have to understand, DEI is literally everything, okay? Like, and, she just makes the case for why these DEI people are so important to our society is because, as she listed there, well, they're the ones prosecuting Trump. They're the only people stupid enough to prosecute Trump for crimes he did not commit. So, this is exactly why we need DEI. This is exactly why we need these DEI hires to be in our government running things. And this is why we need them to go to education and get highly educated on why the orange man is so evil, bad, and Hitler. Ah, crap. I'm going to have to censor that out now because the YouTube overlords are going to shove their giant rainbow phalanx up my sphincter. Don't you just love it here on YouTube? Like, I can't even speak about the truth without them shoving their pride police batons in places where it doesn't belong. But yeah, all irony and jokes aside, guys, you just gotta love Maxine Waters for highlighting why all this crap that the Democrats are pushing is just a load of crap. Like, when everyone else is, doesn't say the secret, Maxine Waters comes in like the Kool-Aid man, says, "Hold my beer," and just screams it out for everyone to see just how evil and corrupt they are. So why don't you let me know down in the comments how you feel about Maxine Waters? Do you think that she's a great congresswoman? Or do you think that she is literally one of the worst congresswomen that we have? And I don't even care if you're not from this country. You can still comment on this. And I'd still be curious just to see what, people who don't live here have to say about this lady because, I don't want to push my luck, but I feel like more people would agree with me than would agree with her. But I mean, hey, that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think? And while you're down there in those comments, make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and also follow me on the Big Mean Green YouTube. I think I'll just start calling it Bumble now because, Bumble is like an app and it sounds very close to the actual word that I'm trying to say. And, so like the AI shouldn't be able to pick up that when I say Bumble, I actually mean the other word that doesn't start with a B. Because apparently the AI is intelligent enough to pick up on innuendos because the innuendos that I used in the Logan Paul Donald Trump video, yeah, that video has like 2 views and it's been about almost 24 hours now. 2 views in 24 hours. Yeah, the only people that saw that were my friends. Nobody else saw that. So yeah, people had to search that video out to find it. Yeah, YouTube censors, come at me, bro. You're going to start a war you can't win. Watch out.